Well, hello guys, how are you doing? I am gonna try to do a quick video of the trade I took a few days ago, my lessons, and how I got to come to pick that zone that I took. I did trade a GBP USD. I couldn't remember exactly the day I took it, but let's walk back and see how it worked out. So I usually stick on the high time frame, and in this very case, I first went to the monthly chart. I looked at how the monthly charts were looking like, and at this point, it looked like a clear downtrend. There was higher lows, like low, consistently making new lows, and then consistently making new lower lows. And then at this point down here, it looked like it was starting to form a W, and I was like, okay, let's see what the weekly chart does tell me still. And it was still telling me that this wasn't a clear downtrend, because there was this coming from down here going up. That was a new law being formed. There was an equally, an equal law to the left, and that was preceded by another law and a new pivot above here. So these were consistently coming down, and that for me is an indication of a downtrend. There's that peak, there's this peak, and there's this one, and those to me were showing, much as these are kind of equal, but the lows on the other side of this were showing a clear downtrend, and it was confirmed. And usually what I do when it is in a downtrend is to further look at where price is at that moment, because downtrends normally signal like, let us sell, like let's make money going downwards. But in this case, I was like, okay, if it is to go to the selling side, where am I gonna sell from? So I went down to the daily chart and looked at it, and at that point I marked this blue line, because that is when I saw the trend. And this analysis was for before, and coming down here, let's zoom it out. The daily chart was looking like this. There was a clear, forget this green side, this preceding green candles, but at this point, looking on the left, which is probably your right or something, but looking at the red candles that preceded before, that was a clear downtrend, and that was a clean, move to the down, like clean and move and strong, and it broke out through all these previous zones, and it was, enticing to see like how price really went down strongly. And that to me was a signal to a clean reversal too. Like if price is to go back, it's gonna be that wonderful. It's gonna be going back with that much strength, because nothing goes down this straight like this. It will still go back the same way. So I had to find some zones, but the daily wasn't giving me much of an entry, so I went to the I waited it out, and this is what happened. Looking at the blue line, as I told you, that's when I started to analyze the chart. This W formed, the one that I drew out with these trend lines, and a W usually in a downtrend, at the bottom of a downtrend, signals a reversal. And this was my signal that this big move went down to the lowest point of that downtrend, and it was time for the reversal, or whenever the candles breathe in, this is the time for it to breathe out. So at this point, the candles were already in the green and they were going up, and I was like, okay, I need to find a good zone for it to form for me to enter. Ideally, if I went on with my day, I would miss things, and that's exactly what happened. I went on with my day and time passed by before I come back to the channel, to the candles. This had all already happened. All these candles had formed, and this was the next zone that I did realize. But I didn't even realize it on the 4-hour chart. I had to go down to the hourly chart, and that's when I found something. And this was the zone that I saw. It looked like this, and it was a nice strong, the W was still being formed. I had missed this action here, and then this had formed out. This was a nice move to me because there was a rally, basing, rally, basing, rally, and this is strength for me. This shows there's a lot of unfilled orders at this point, and it had done the strong move that it moved 2 times. This section had moved up 2 times when it did the move out, but also it broke above these previous supplies. If I can use these boxes to show you, it broke above that previous supply and this previous supply. So that to me signals strength and ability for this particular zone to hold out. So I decided to wait and trade off of it. But meantime, while I was waiting, this is what happened. These candles, so I literally was watching it, like not like a hawk, but I kept on coming back to it and watching it. And this is what happened. The red candle came, and I was like, okay, it's gonna come back to my zone. And then this one came, and it literally just stopped here. And I was like, oh. Then I began to freak out. I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna miss this nice trade. This is a nice move upwards. Remember, reflecting on the daily candle, this was a nice signal for me, and I couldn't see myself, missing out on it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna miss it. So the foolishness in the trader in me decided to take the trade at around this time. I took it on market price around this time, and it started to go up, and I was like, oh, thank God I figured it out. I saw it before it did this move, and I was so happy. And then it started to come back down. I held my guns because I had calculated my risk, and my stop loss was already set, but it came back to the zone, and then afterwards it went right out, and it's still working until when it will hit my target. So the lesson today I wanted to talk about, the highlight of this video is, if you choose a zone and you take it through all your authentication process, and you look at your enhancers, and you analyze it properly, take your time and understand it, and you come out with it. And this is what I'm sticking with. Please guys, stick with it, because at this point everything worked out exactly how I'd planned it. But the downside to it is that I broke my rules, and I'm not so proud about that. It kills me to break my rules, but I also missed on this profit potential because I entered on market price at this point. I missed out on this profit potential. Price did exactly what I thought it would do. It came into my zone, and then it moved out. And right now I am in, and I'm remaining with just a few more ticks for me to get out of this trade. Hopefully this is probably gonna close on Monday, because now being a Friday, it's probably gonna close on Monday. So let's keep doing it. Let's keep paying attention to our rules and honoring them, and then may we always pick winning trades. Thank you, guys.